Hey everybody, this is David at Shine On Studio in Oakland, California, and this evening I'm going to show you some tricks on mixing your drums. And I'm going to use some parallel compression to get the effect that I'm trying to achieve with this song here from Justin Fawsitt, and this one's called Automatic Pilot. Let me play a little bit of the track for you so you can hear what we're working with.
But I thought she's looking fine. It brought it all back, the way things used to be. I really did lose track of just how much you mean to
me. So you get the idea of what we're working with here. And I want to make the drums just pop a little bit more. I'd like to hear, a little bit more snap in them. Now I do have the Waves Trans-X on the kick drum here, but I want to isolate just the attack and make that jump out just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is some parallel compression with some gates. So I'm going to make a new track here from my sends, and let's call this one kick gate compressing GC. And I'm going to make sure this goes out to the stem that I have set up for the kicks, which is stem 2. And then the first insert that I'm put on here is from my dynamics selection, and it's the C1 comp gate from Waves. An extremely affordable plugin here that I think you can probably buy isolated by itself less than $100. So let's get through the parameters of this. I'm going to jump ahead here. Let's jump up to where the kick actually comes in. On this track, I'm going to do a little bit of compression. Let's do a 2.5 to 1 ratio. A little too heavy.
Well, I caught you looking over your shoulder.
Turn the music down so you can hear me. So what I'm doing is compressing this signal with a 2.5 to 1 ratio and getting somewhere around 12 dB of reduction. Now this is a sidechain compressor, so it's not actually compressing the original sound. We're going to blend this sound in with the original. And to do that, I really want to squish it. And then on this side over here, this is the gate side. I'm going to move the gate up, and I kind of want this to flicker like that. I really want to just let the initial attack through, and then I want it to clamp down on the back end of the signal so that we don't have a lot of decay, especially all of the bleed that is probably on this microphone. And I am reducing the input level and the output level a little bit much, so let's give this a little bit of juice here. 6 dB. That looks pretty good. You can fiddle around with that plugin some more if you want to really dial in your sound, but what I'm trying to get, I'm just going to show you here real quick. I'm going to go to Dynamics, and I'm going to choose a limiter. I like the L1 for this option because I just want to clamp down on this guy and really squish it. So let's make sure we're getting some real heavy limiting. That looks good. And then use this to blend your tone. Let's bring the mix back up.
Then there are other days just like today.
That's really heavy. I don't know if I want to leave it that hard, but now you hear the difference of really getting that punch of the kick in the mix now. I'll bring this down just a touch. I'm actually going to bring this up just a little bit. Probably want somewhere around 10 dB. It looks like it's just touching between 10 and 12, right around there. Some nice solid squished sound that I'm blending in with the original mix of the kick drum. Now AB again, so I'll turn this on and off as we listen. So since we have it so punchy now on the other side, we can probably trim this guy down just a touch, dB and a half or so. And then I've got this Sheps plugin on here. And it looks like the output's not so bad, the input's not too bad. What do we got? Decreasing at 4 dB, that's fine. Let's move on to the next. Next one I'm going to work on this song is really the floor. He doesn't do a lot of snare work in this one. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Now I do have a compressor on this channel already, but let's do the same kind of trick. So I'm going to make a new track. I'm going to call this Floor GC. And I'll make sure this goes out the same stem as the floor, which is stem 1 for my drums. And then I'm going to hold down the Option key on my Mac, and I'm going to click on these guys and move them over here. There we go. Now we're hearing that floor tom. These settings aren't that bad. This is a little too high. Actually, I kind of like it maybe chopping off some of that tail. I really just want to hear that initial boom. Sounds pretty good. Let's bring the mix back up. Now it kind of made it hollow, you hear that? A little too much here on the limiting. Let's let some more back in over here. Let's start it over.
Well, I caught you looking over your shoulder, baby, when I was looking over mine. Hey.
This is a technique that you can do on any track, just this parallel compression. You can really squish the signal on the other side and you can blend it in with the original track. It's really useful for vocals, guitars, and right here on this song I'm using it on the kick and the floor. Hope this kind of gave you some insight on how to do this. You can use any compressor, gate, and limiter. You don't have to use the ones that I used. In fact, I think Pro Tools gives you some great options for doing this kind of work on the side. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. This is David from Shine On Studio in Oakland, California. I want to thank you for watching our videos and subscribing to our channel. We just hit 900 subscribers and we're aiming for 1,000. And everybody that joins post that, you're going to get a whole bunch of benefits because we're really going to grow once we hit 1,000. So, again, thanks for watching. Happy mixing.